Yo, what's up? And welcome back to me. I didn't expect to be here, so I'm glad I'm here. And so I'll be your host today. I'm Daniel Greer, and with me is actually the guy who's on the show. What's up? And welcome back, Luke.
What's up, brother? Thank you for hopping on yesterday. I'm in Destin right now,
What?
Florida. Yeah, Florida, not Ohio. Like I think there's a
Hold
Destin,
on.
Ohio.
All right, listen. I'm just gonna be honest. One, I didn't know that. Two, why are you on the show?
Because I wanted to. I ain't doing nothing this week. I'm like, shoot, I'm having my coffee. I'm on the beach, had donuts. I'm just chilling.
Wow. All right. Listen, props to you. Honestly, we've been talking. I didn't even know that you were actually at the beach. And
Do you think
so
I just had this beautiful seascape in my house?
listen, I don't know. Maybe
I'm
you
a weird
do.
dude. I'm a weird dude.
Listen, hey, you said it, not me. No,
Yeah, true.
so Mark is out today, and so just want to make sure we wish him well. So had some issues
Mhm.
going on with him. And so I want to make sure
Some
that he
issues.
yeah, some issues. Listen, that's it, it's his story to tell, not mine.
Yes, yes.
And so stay tuned for that. But we do wish him well. Listen, we got the text late last night, and so I want to make sure everything's going good with him today. And so if
Mhm.
he's watching this, hello and good morning. But no, we're gonna have a fun day. So the show completely is going to be the 3 segment style. Don't want to mess anything up. We're gonna go into the city edition jerseys. We're gonna give you
Mhm.
what we like and don't like. We'll also show you the Grizzlies one, which you probably have seen if you're a Grizzlies fan. Then we're
Mhm.
gonna get into a little bit of the rotation questions because I think the back end of the rotation is important.
Yeah.
And then from there, you're talking about the predicting the first 25 games. I don't think we're gonna be that's not probably the most fun segment because you're just looking
No.
at different games. You can give a number, but I actually want to dig into the games and see like how does it break down without Ja. And I think that's important. So it might be a little bit more sluggish on the very end, but I think it's very enlightening because as you come up and give your comments, we can kind of talk through everything as well. So,
Mhm.
Luke, you have anything before we get into the first thing?
Well, then, piggybacking off of you, man, like I think without Stevo playing too, it's really important to reevaluate these first 25 games.
Very good.
Just because we play some guys where we would have really used him in those first
Yeah.
25 games. I don't think it'll change our record that much, but I think it's definitely worth digging into each game
Yeah. And
because
it's also a thought process of looking through and saying, "Hey, like it's not going to be as bad as people might think." Okay?
no, 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 no,
So,
it's not.
we'll definitely hit on that. First thing I want to hit on is what the city edition jerseys. And so the first thing I want to just kind of give you is we're going to give you our least favorite as well as our favorite.
Mhm.
And this is excluding the Grizzlies. So if you think that we're showing favoritism to the Grizzlies, well, we are. Okay. But we also want to show you the other people we like as well as the Grizzlies. And so, Luke, go ahead and give me your least favorite first.
My least favorite, the Wizards. I don't know what's going on there. If you like it, I'm going to be really disappointed because like I can't even read what is under the word district. If I didn't know that DC stood for District of Columbia, I would just be really confused.
Okay.
And I am partially colorblind. I'm red green colorblind. So I don't know what color that is. It just looks kind of like poo colored. And so I just don't like it. It's just kind of a nasty looking mix for me.
All right, listen. All right. So, all right, first things first. The fact that you're colorblind and the two colors that are on the jersey just gives this all clarity for me
Wait, are they
because
red and green?
it's red and green.
Oh, that
Like,
explains why it looks like poop then.
yeah, listen, I think it's red and green. It looks like red and green. And so if you're seeing this, it's the Wizards jersey in the bottom left of your corner.
Oh
Um,
man,
man, I don't
red
think
and
it's
green.
that bad. I don't know what's going on, but I don't think it's that bad. Um, I don't know. So
Well, the fact
listen,
that that's red and green explains a lot for me because just thought it was poo colored, and I didn't know the Washington was red or green. Are they red or green colored normally?
not green. I don't know. I don't know the reasoning. Listen, most of people don't know. Like we look like that. We have a QR code on the Grizzlies jersey. Okay, like
It's true.
literally, like who
A
knows?
QR code.
Who knows? Like we're all our own individual cities or on our individual teams franchise. We have a QR code looking on our jersey. They have red and green Christmas in the district. Not sure what's
Yeah.
happening. Maybe it's
No,
the Santa Claus district. I don't know, but I do agree that it's not great, but I also think it's not terrible. It looks okay.
it's not terrible. I think your least favorite is more. is equally as bad.
All right, so yeah, let's get into the Miami Heats. Miami Heats, it's not that it's terrible. There's nothing on it that says, hey, this is terrible.
It doesn't say Miami.
The process behind it, why, like, listen, if you want to be called and be given the moniker of Heat culture, great. But the time that you start saying it and the time that you actually put it on a jersey, that is just like, all right, that's just like, come on, man. Like,
you're taking it a step too far.
Yeah, I don't need to see your 5 rings. I don't need to see you put them in my face. Like, I don't need you to tell me that you have the best culture and Pat Riley is a complete genius. I don't need, like, yes, that's fine. If you think that, great. But putting it on a jersey, like, come on, man. Like, that's
the fact that you're starting to like put your worth in that and not in the actual team. And then now it's just kind of like, come on, y'all. Like, does that say Miami on it anywhere? How do we know that the city's Miami? It could just be the city of culture. Like, we don't know. We don't know. Look at that. Like, the other ones say, I'm assuming it says where they're from. That one doesn't.
All right. Well, let me just kind of go back to the Grizzlies. All right. We have a QR code that doesn't say anything about the city, the team, or anything. Okay.
I think you have to turn your head to the right to see it, and then you can read it. I think that's
let's go to our favorites real quick. And then we'll get to yours and the Phoenix Suns in the Valley. I think that's what it says.
I thought they might have left the Y off. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's my favorite because I think I thought it said the Ville when I first read it. But then I was looking at it and I'm like, El Valley, that's cool. I like the colors because I can see them a little bit more. You know, it looks kind of like a sun, which I appreciate. You know, like it looks like I appreciate that they incorporated the city and the actual what the team is into the jersey. Because out of these 4 in the QR code, they like none of them really show what the team is. Like, you know, like with the mascot, I guess, you know, there's no Jazz or Wizard or, well, I guess he kind of, but you know, like you can't really tell what any of the other ones are, but that one, you could see a sun maybe.
Okay. Well, listen, I like the colors. I think they're cool. The fact that you didn't even know what it actually said.
I had to look, I had to zoom in.
It goes to my point of, I think this is trash for the simple fact that it says, I thought it said the Valley, right? I thought
El Valley,
but you're saying now it's saying El Valley. That actually makes more sense. It makes me hate it less.
Yeah.
But I could not tell. I thought they just literally left off the Y of Valley. Honestly, I'm confused.
Is that Spanish for Valley?
It's got to be. But it can't be my favorite if I can't understand exactly what it's saying. But if it is Spanish, I get it. It makes the most sense there. Okay. I'm okay. I'll embrace it as not being something I'm going to hate. But I do think it's kind of like it looked like and because they had the Valley one last year, I thought they were just missing the Y. So that's why I'm going to give mine. But all right, let's go to the Utah real quick.
Utah's good.
This is old school. It's John Stockton. It's Karl Malone. It's Jeff Hornacek. Greg Ostertag. It's those guys. That's what this reminds me of. It's a classic. You can't go wrong with this. This was my favorite when I saw it. I know other people have liked other ones, and that's great. Fine. None of them are groundbreaking this year. None of them are like, oh my God, they're so good. I literally think there might have been some conversation from up top and said, hey, let's not go overboard this year. Maybe, I don't know. But then I look at Brooklyn's. It looks like a color chart. I'm not sure what's going on there.
No, man, they had to have said something because some of them even look like copies of the same jersey, just with words like swapped out. Like the Kings jersey looks like all the other. I don't know. It just feels kind of lazy on some of them.
Yeah, it definitely does. So everybody likes the Kings. I don't love it, but anyway, it is what it is. I just thought you'd want to see it, but that was the QR code of the Grizzlies. I like the MEM. I'm not gonna lie, I do like it.
I like it too.
I think it could have been put out a little bit better. I think there could have been other colors that would have maybe brought them to life. Maybe. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time.
I wish they would bring that teal color. I wish that we would somehow be able to get that back in the jersey.
There's probably a way, somehow, somewhere.
Somehow.
I don't know. All right. So before we get to our next one, make sure you kind of tune into the show. Mark will be back. Obviously, he is not here. But before we want to go ahead and take our first break. We'll be right back.
I am highly upset, man. Oh, man. ESPN, you dastardly dogs you. Last week had us feeling good. They picked the Grizzlies to be first in the West with about 48.5 wins. And what a difference a few days makes.
What a difference.
You put out your list of the top 100 players in the NBA. Desmond Bain jumps in at 61. Jaren Jackson Jr. comes in at number 31. Jaren's top 25 to me, but if you, all right, whatever. I think that's a little slight to Jaren. Desmond Bain is disgusting, in my opinion. Then we get Ja Morant, All-NBA player, two-time All-Star, one of the most dynamic offensively players in the NBA, Ja Morant. That guy was number 35 on their list, Kenny Stubblefield. The same people that said the Grizzlies will be the first team in the West, they're going to get that done with just some regular dudes.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Just curious, you kind of talked about the transfers and things like that. How has that changed your mindset from a roster management standpoint? Like, incredible recruiter. All the classes, I think we had 2 back-to-back and 21 and 22 top classes. How does that change with the transfer portal? Do you start focusing more on upperclassmen? Do you kind of get away from the younger freshmen? How does that work?
Yeah, so I still believe in our coaching staff and the way we do things and developing guys. And that I will never get away from that philosophy. We're still going to recruit a high school class. Now, there's a lot of colleges out there that say, screw this. We're pushing all the chips in on this roster, win right now, and we'll figure it out. Sure. And if it doesn't, right, it implodes and bad things happen. But I think you still have to bring in true freshmen and develop them and see what they can become. And that I'll never waver from that. But the portal certainly changed things.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Yo, we're back and welcome here. I know if you're seeing this again, sorry, it's not me. It is me. It's not Mark. It is Luke. So we are back here. We're going to talk about some rotation questions. And so I want to go ahead and throw that out to you first as we get into this. Is there anything that you see coming out of this with the Steve-O news? Obviously, it's you're taking it back a little bit, but we didn't get your immediate thoughts yesterday on the show. So what are your first thoughts on whenever that Steve-O news came out?
Man, I don't want to say I was really crushed as much as you can be crushed by a game. It just kind of changed a lot of how I was viewing the season because so much of our team goes through him. It's kind of Steve-O's sort of the foundation of so much of what we do.
Right.
And I've been screaming from the mountaintops for 2 years now that we needed to add an actual big to the roster, and this is why. And I think we'll probably make a move at some point after the 5th game. I think something has to happen. It's like you said, the back end of the rotation's hard. We don't have a lot of big man depth back there.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. I know you want to talk about Andre Drummond, bringing him. I think he's a great fit for this team. But obviously, they're not here yet, right? And we hit on that yesterday. So let's talk about the rotation questions just in general, and let's discuss a little bit of what it looks like. So we already know the first 25 games are without Ja Morant, but we also know they're without Brandon Clarke and now Steven Adams. So that's a guarantee of 3 of the top. You can say 8, 3 of the top 7, maybe even 6.
Yeah.
You can whatever you want to actually clarify. I guess, and classify Brandon Clarke as your 6th, 7th, or 8th best guy. He's a top 3 off the bench.
Yes.
You're without those guys. What does it look like? You obviously have Bain, and you have Jaren, and you have Smart. Those are 3 guarantees.
Yes.
So how do you start the game, especially this first game? Who are you going with?
I'm going with Z at the 3 and X at the 5, just because this quick notice, I think it has to be X at the 5. There's nobody else that I would.
Right.
I don't think Jaren's ready to slide him over and start Santi at the 4. That might work, but I think you need Santi off the bench without Steve-O.
Okay. Well, see, so I like that. Okay. And there's 2 different thoughts to me. Is this game, I am definitely going X because you have JV. And I think these can be matchup based. I don't think anybody is set. Now, the way Zaire's playing, I think he can actually set himself into that, right? But also you need a good long defender. And you need somebody who's willing to rebound. I know Bain's willing to rebound. Zaire is a decent rebounder. And shout out to, I put out my play. I'll give this away. It's in our Discord over at Bluff City Bets. You can join the Discord easy enough. But I already have it at over 2.5. So 3 rebounds for Zaire in the entire game. It's minus
That's
105. It's good odds. It's over unders 2.5. I think that's a good spot. I think he's a willing rebounder, and all you need is a willing. I'm not saying he's a good rebounder, just a willing rebounder. So I think he's a good spot for there.
I think we'll see. I mean, you're talking about willing rebounders. We've not seen Jitty all preseason. I would not be surprised, unfortunately, if TJ threw him out there more so this little bit, because he's one of the most willing rebounders we have off the bench.
That's a good call. All right, so let's get into the rest of the rotation. So we have the first 5, especially against a team like the Pelicans. You have to have size. You have to have rebounding. But that's why you're running out X to go against JV. But looking at the rest of just looking at October, you have the Nuggets at home, you have the Wizards on the road, and then you have the Maps. Looking at that, I think there's potential that you could adjust. And I think you adjust maybe with Santi and X, depending on their matchup.
Agreed.
But the only problem is what do you do coming off the bench? So let's get into the bench guys, right? So the number 1 guy coming off the bench is Luke Kennard. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, hands down.
Terrible name, good player. But then you have, but who else do we have, right? You have
Roddy.
Has to be a player in this. He's the one that benefits the most, I would think.
Yeah. I think Jake's going to have to play too, and I don't want him to.
Who?
Jake.
See, that makes me nervous. I don't think I think he's a shot creator, but I don't know if he is the guy who is that I don't know. I think listen, this is his, time to fly. If he's
it is.
This is it. But I have another guy.
Are you going to say Junior?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I think if it were me, I would give Junior time over LaRavia. Just because LaRavia's too slow. He's way too slow. Not that Junior's a speed demon, but he can he's bigger. He's big enough to go in there and push people out of the way. Okay. I don't trust Jake to bully his way into anything.
Yeah. Well, I think these guys are interchangeable game to game, depending on the matchup. With the Pelicans, and honestly, any bench, I don't think it's a big deal, but you have to be careful if they are big. You cannot put out a junior. The only problem is, who else are you going with? Because you do have Aldama. So Aldama and Luke and Derrick Rose coming off the bench. I think that's your top 8. Okay.
Yeah, hands down.
All right. So that's 8. So we need 2 other guys. So it's Roddy, Jake, or Junior, or Jitty. God, so many J's.
Yeah. God. And I like Vince, but Vince won't be included in that. And he won't.
Vince could be, but he hasn't shown it in the preseason. That's the problem. Is he's shown it when he's playing against these other guys who are okay. They're NBA players, some, but most aren't in the summer league. And he's played against them in the G League. They're not really NBA players either, and he's played well against them. He hasn't shown that he can play in an NBA game and be that contributor that we see when he gets the minutes. Yeah. So I think those are questions. So let's go ahead and say we agree on the top 8. Who plays? Do you think who gets the nod? The last 2 guys out of the 4, which is Jake LaRavia, Junior, Jitty, and Roddy. First game.
I think Roddy has to be on there for me just because you know what he can do based on last season and his defense. I think that, and he's a big body. I think we're going to need as much big dudes in that first game as we can get. Oh God, I would go I would do Junior. I would go who rebounds the most and who gives you the most opportunity at rebounding on that last spot. And I would be between Jitty and Junior. And I would just run with Junior because Jitty hasn't played a single preseason game since the first one.
Yeah, so a little bit on Jitty. From my understanding, it was a personal issue.
Okay.
So I don't know why he hasn't played. He was at this last practice. I talked to somebody who knows him, and they pretty much relayed the answer to the question of, hey, is everything good? And literally the text message, which I saw, gave a thumbs up. That was literally it. It was the funniest thing. I laughed when I saw it, but it was literally a thumbs up. And so, listen, I don't know who in the world you play because as far from my understanding is Larry Nance is still on this team, correct?
He's really
playing. Larry
He
Nance
killed us
Larry
last
Nance
year,
Jr.
man. He
Larry
kills
Nance
us when we play him.
expected to still play. I don't see an issue here. So you have a guy like Zion, right, who can blow by anybody.
Yeah,
That makes me nervous because then who do you put? Jaren's on Zion, right?
yeah.
Who creates fouls, a lot of fouls. And so then you also have a guy like Junior who he can blow past. So
Mhm.
does Junior go on Larry Nance? Does Junior go on JV? I think that stuff, depending on how it all works out, you have to be careful on his matchups. But also, you're talking about Zion. You have to be careful of him too. Who do you put on Zion? That's the other thing. There's so many questions here, right? I think you go Zaire and Brandon Ingram easy, right? And
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
the other guys. You have CJ McCollum, and I would imagine
Marcus.
you might want to go Bane there.
Who do you put Marcus on?
See, I don't know who they're starting.
Because Alvarado's hurt. No, who they got? They got Naz Reid, right?
Yeah, I don't know who starts for them though. Let me look at the last game. Zion, Ingram, Herb Jones.
Herb Jones.
That's the thing is like CJ McCollum is going to be a guy who runs around. You
Yeah.
can put Marcus Smart on him and then go Herb Jones on. on Bane on Herb Jones. You could, but either way, like I said, it's very mismatched. Like I don't know who they're going to actually play, and then you have the guys coming off the bench. Dyson Daniels, Jordan Hawkins. I don't even see Larry Nance Jr. and whether or not he's played. So I'm trying to figure out why he maybe had not played. He hadn't
Dude,
played
I hope he
at all.
doesn't play.
He hadn't played at all in the preseason, from my understanding. I'm looking at stats and I can't see any stats in here where it says he's played.
I feel like he kills us every time we play him.
100%, and that's what makes me nervous is whether or not he plays. But listen, if he doesn't, I feel good about that. I'm not an expert on that at all, but I think we have to be careful of who. But I think that it's a good call to go with Junior. I just don't know if they trust him just yet.
Not against that matchup.
Yeah, I think the game has to play out a little bit, but I do think that he can give you buckets. I think it's going to kind of play out of they're going to try him out in one of the halves. I would imagine, and just kind of see what he gives you. I don't think there's any worst case to that. So we'll see.
You put him in like midway through the second, like halfway through the second.
So yeah, I would hold him to the second quarter. I wouldn't play him early on. I would wait. I think that's important to kind of wait for Junior a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see.
Do you play him and Jaren, I guess? I mean, I would not put him and X out there together.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him and X together, but I do think that you can have him and Junior together is the only option. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, Junior and Jaren. The only problem is they looked horrible in preseason, but I did say yesterday on the show that they do need more time. They need to build that chemistry. That's the only guy who makes sense next to him. But you have to make sure that they both find their role. You have to tell Junior to go into the post more and be that bully ball guy, and then allow Jaren to come in and out of the post as he wants. But mainly he's going to be a perimeter guy who can kind of take you off the dribble, but also a guy who can break, back door, run pick and roll, stuff like that if he needs to. I think there's a off the ball. I think you can go away, and then I think you can build some action on the backside with Jaren that I think will be very, profitable with when you're knocking down shots. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna. It's what you were saying. Like they need to tell Junior, hey man, go out there, get in the post. This is what we need you to do. If you want minutes with this team right now, that's what you got to do.
Yeah. No, I agree completely. Let's go ahead and skip the last commercial, and let's power through this because I think this is important to hit on the last stuff. It's going to be the first 25 games. Very simple. We're just going to look through the games and kind of see what in the world we're thinking, what possibilities are out there, what does a record look like, and whatever. All right, so let's go through these one and one, and I'll take notes of what we both consensus agree how it should go. Okay, so Pelicans at home. What do you think?
I have us winning that one.
All right, I do as well. I think they come out. They play well at home. I think this
at home.
Nuggets at Grizzlies. Looks like the Nuggets play tonight, and so it would be they obviously would travel after a day. So it should be a normal travel day. So Nuggets at home for the Grizzlies.
I have Denver winning that one.
Same. All right.
Yeah.
So we're 1-1 on the season. Going to the Wizards, which is a quick turnaround. So it's pretty much your home, and then you travel on the day of the road. So you're going to the Wizards on the 28th. Win or loss?
Win.
Okay. You think they're going to want to make sure, hey, we're going to Tyus's house. We want to get a win.
Yes.
All right. So now we're going to the Mavericks are coming to our place. And it looks like the Mavericks, they're coming from, so it's a Sunday game. So the Mavericks are playing on a Friday at home, and so they're traveling to the Grizzlies the next day. So nothing crazy on travel there.
I've got the Grizzlies winning that one.
Wow. Okay. So that's where we're going to both disagree on. That's a loss.
Mhm.
So let's chalk up a.
Wait a minute. Wait. I had that. Hold on. I wrote this out. I had that one as a loss too. I'm sorry. I had them going 3-2 these first 5.
Well, sounds like we got a win on this next one. All right. Going
Boom.
to the
Yeah.
Jazz. You taking a win?
Yeah.
All right. So in the first 5 games, we're 3-2.
Mhm.
Sounds okay. Sounds right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the next 5 games and kind of see if we can do it every 5 games. So now we have a weird road schedule here where we're going to the Blazers back-to-back games on a Friday and a Sunday. The first one is a play-in tournament game. What are your thoughts?
I think they split those. I think they take the first one, lose the second.
I am the same. I think they split no matter what.
Yeah.
All right. So then they come back home on a Wednesday. So you have 2 days off in between. So you have a Monday, Tuesday. They play Wednesday. The Heat come to town.
I think we'll drop that one.
Heat are always tough for us somehow.
Yep.
We go stay at home again Friday, the November the 10th. It's another play-in tournament
Win.
versus the Jazz. So we have a win. So now we're 2-2. The last game, which is another, the Sunday game, which is the 12th of November, is at the Clippers.
I have us losing that one.
All right, so we're both on the same thing, 2-3. So we were 3-2, now 2-3. Obviously 5-5 through 10 games. That's okay. I'm not
bad.
against that. All right, so now we're going into stay on the West Coast, and we're going to play the Lakers. Second play-in tournament.
I have us losing that one.
100%. The Lakers are the Grizzlies' worst matchup this season. They were last year. They are 100% this season. We're going to get killed in that game.
Killed. We can't. They got better too. I think we're going to get killed by them.
Their size is just crazy good.
Mhm.
All right. So this is the first day that, speaking of my show, Grizz 901, post-game show, Nathan is going to be in town for this game.
Oh, shoot.
So the Spurs, we're in San Antonio on the 18th of November. The Spurs on the road. First sighting of Wemby.
Win.
Win. All right. I'm going to agree with you. Celtics at home the next day. So we're on the road in San Antonio, come home, play the Celtics.
I want to say win because I'm going to be at this game, but I think we're going to lose. Actually, no, give me the dub. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to say we win that one.
Okay. I'm going to disagree, but yeah, we can say that. We'll agree to disagree right now.
Agree to disagree.
We'll figure out the last 2. At Rockets.
Win.
Wow. That one makes me nervous.
Does it?
First Dylan game.
I have us losing the next one. I think we'll win that one though.
Okay. So you have the Suns.
I think I have us. Did I have us winning or losing that one? I think I had us winning that one because I think we're going to do really well in the in-season tournament. I think they're going to.
Wow.
I think we're going to only lose that Lakers game.
All right. So you're 3-2, and we're getting wins against the Celtics and the Suns.
Yeah.
Sheesh. All right. I'm gonna give us an extra loss there for Daniel, one extra loss. We'll kind of see how that goes. We'll see how it plays out. We might flip flop later. So all right. So now we're 15 games into the first 25 without Ja. Okay, very simple. We're roughly 500.
Yeah,
we're 1 game above 500. I don't think that's crazy. Let's go through the last. Should be pretty simple here. We have the Timberwolves at home.
Win. And I think Timberwolves are going to be good this year, but I still think we win that one.
Sheesh. I disagree. They have so much size.
You don't think they're going to? Oh, you think they're just too big for us?
We're going to get it demolished. The Jazz, because we don't have any size right now. That's the issue with this size in the first 25 games. Literally, we don't have anybody that can play over their heads a little bit and kind of create that. The only thing we have to do is we hope that we shoot well. If we shoot well, then we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's go to the next one. And that is the Jazz at home.
Win.
Okay, now we're into December. We're back. Mavericks on the road.
Lose.
All right, so 12-1, December 1st. We're chalking up a loss to the Mavericks. All right, so we have 2 more games left in this 5-game stretch, and that's the Grizzlies at the Suns.
Lose.
All right, then we're going back on the road for the 5th game of this stretch. It's Mavericks at the Grizzlies, 12-11.
Win.
Okay, so you're 3-2 again. I'm gonna give us another loss. I disagree on that. All right, so you have us 3-6-9 to 11-11, 11-9 through 20 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. You're more ballsy than I am.
I'm a homer.
All right.
I can't help it.
Listen, that's fine. I actually have us 9-11 through the 20 games. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I have 9-11 through 20 games. That's me personally. I just think that we're not big enough, and I think that sometimes it'll show, especially against these big teams like the Timberwolves. I think it's going to be crazy how big they are.
I'm hoping by December we have like a lot of these. I was hoping by December we have another body.
Okay. All right, the last 5 games, which is Rockets on the road.
L.
Okay. All right, and then the Rockets at home. It's a Wednesday, Friday doubleheader kind of deal.
Dubsky for the second one.
So we split that. All right, Grizzlies at the Thunder on 12-18.
I think I had us. Let's say L or no dub. I'm gonna take a dub there.
All right, same. Grizzlies at Pelicans on TNT. Hold on, that should be the game Ja gets back.
Yeah, I think the OKC game was number 25, right?
Yeah, what did I miss? 1,
Wait, did we
2,
miss one?
3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I missed one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Wait,
How did I miss one?
I think I missed one too. Do I not know how to count?
This is terrible content, but
We can count to 25 if anyone's watching. I went to college twice almost. Wait, are we that bad at math? Mavericks. Which one did we skip?
oh, I see. All right, here it is. No, I don't know. I literally am looking at it and I'm counting the same amount. So how am I missing games? This is terrible.
8. Did you miss one of the Portland's games? 9. We play them back to back.
Yeah, I hit on both those. That's what I'm saying. I literally hit on every single game. I'm looking on ESPN. I don't know what you're looking on.
I'm looking at Ian.
Here's the real schedule.
Did they move some days?
I don't know, but so we played New Orleans, Denver.
Oh, it's December the 26th. It's the 26th. It's that next Pelicans game, right, where he comes back?
So why would that be on the 19th?
Does he come back the next Tuesday?
No. Well, maybe so, but I thought that one was on TNT. So maybe that's what threw me off is Ja returns on the No. Ja returns on the 19th, supposedly.
Where did we go wrong?
No, you're right. You're right. I think you're right. I think we all assumed it was that one, but it's not. All right. So no, listen, we're right. 3, 24, 25. All right. So we're right. We are right. We can count. I think we both assumed that the TNT game at New Orleans was the actual game he was returning on. I completely assumed. So 12-26 is his first game back.
Right after Christmas.
26.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What a Christmas present. All right. So now let's go the last 2. So we said at Pelicans, that was a loss, right?
Yeah. Wait. Yes. I said that was a loss.
Okay. So
Wait, no, I have them winning that one actually. I have them going on a streak till Ja gets back. I have them winning those last games before Ja gets back.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the first game back says Atlanta.
Wait.
I'm so confused. I don't know why we're so confused, but I am confused. All right, so let's just get through this. If we're wrong, we're wrong, honestly, because my math shows me right. All right, so the last two. So you said loss at Pelicans or win?
No, I'll win. I think they win that one.
Okay, at the Pacers come to home.
Win.
God, dog, dude. You
I
have
have us winning the last. I have us going on a little tear before Ja gets back.
so you have us 15 and 10.
Yeah.
Luke has 15 and 10. So I'm going to give you two more losses, 9 and 11. 9, 11. DG has 11. Right? 14.
Wait.
11 and 14.
That's
Yeah,
what you
15 and 10. You're 15 and 10, and I have us at 11, 14. Listen, I'm just being realistic. I'm not saying that we're not good. I would have given us at least 3 more games, if not 4, and been closer to the 15 and 10 mark if for some reason that Steven was there. But now that we don't have Steven, I just think that we don't match up well against some of these teams due to the size. Who knows who in the world we're getting? But I will say that I want to be wrong, but I will say that in the very first 25 games, somehow, some way, I think we're going to be 11 and 14. Now, we obviously don't know the schedule, and I completely thought the first game back was Ja.
Dude, I'm looking at Fan Nation, and they say it's the 19th, nationally televised on TNT is when he comes back, but that's not 25 games.
That's not 25 games.
No. Are they just...
So is everybody wrong? Like, is this something we don't know about? Like,
are we the first ones to uncover this, that he went through the games?
Is it... preseason games don't count.
I don't think so either. The Grizzlies, okay, this has to be wrong. The Grizzlies will play their 26th, that's from the commercial appeal. They will play their 26th game on December 19th, but that's not right.
Even like Fish, who has it, is 12-19, Ja returns, game 26. So where are these games at? Oh, yeah. I see. I see what we're missing. We're not idiots. We can count. So the knockout round is December 4th, 5th, 7th, and 9th.
Oh, so there's extra games in there that we're missing for the in-season tournament.
Yep. That's what we're missing.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yep. So that's what we're missing. We can't count that. We have no clue about doing that now.
Yeah, nope.
All right, so we are missing those games. I'm just looking. I'm like, hey, we're looking at this schedule, and nothing says anything weird or different.
I was really confused.
Yeah, so that's why we pulled up the schedule. So that was terrible content, or it might be amazing content.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. I think that's what that was.
So I hope everybody else looks at their schedule and goes, listen, I thought he was coming back on the 19th as well. It's a TNT game. We're all confused because he should have been. I thought he was here before Christmas, way before Christmas.
I did too. He was like, that's the day after Christmas.
But yeah, so hopefully it goes better than I say at 11-14. But either way, if it is 11 and if it is that, I think it's still fine. I still think the sky is not falling. 11. You're talking about 3 games below 500. I'm okay with that. You're losing 3 of your top 8 guys, and so I think we'll be fine with that.
Well, I think the only losses that like those losses are against big teams. The teams that have the size are just going to be really hard on us these first 25 games.
Yeah. So I think you gave Minnesota, and I flipped.
Yeah.
And I gave Thunder, or maybe another one. I don't remember.
I think the last one the Thunder had there at the end, the second one you had flipped.
Yeah. So it just depends. I think we're going to be better at home than we are on the road, but I also think we're going to be on the road and we're going to be good too. I don't think the schedule is very hard. I would not put it past us to be really good and be a above 500 team coming out of the first 25 because I think they have a lot to prove. I think you have a chip on your shoulder kind of guy, and this team is kind of set up for success with that mentality. I just think that they're going to excel, but I can't see it yet. I want to see it, and then after that I might change my mind.
Yeah, we need to see how they fit. We need to see what he uses for that bench rotation. Like, I mean, I get not wanting to be so rah-rah until we see what it looks like. Because they might trot everybody out there and it looks like shit. We don't know. We don't know. Maybe Santi at the 5 doesn't work. Like, I have no idea. Who knows? I hope that I'm very, 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 very pleased with what I've seen TJ doing so far in the preseason. And I think he's got his mind right. Like, I think that he's gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets Coach of the Year this year, and I think he's just gonna coach his ass off these first 25 games.
I would listen. Any props to TJ is good. I think you're seeing it already with them changing their style. They're going to have to be a more fast-paced team, and the same questions still are there. How does Junior fit? Like, how does Santi fit into the rotation more, because he has shown that he has the ability. How does X fit? How does Jaren kind of stay out of foul trouble, because it's more important than it ever has been.
Yes,
there's so many questions out there, but I think being more up and down, maybe running more, getting teams sped up can help you, because you're not into the mud of a defense in a sense, and so you're not going to pick up those stupid fouls. So we'll see.
No, well, if our shot falls, if we can shoot the ball slightly above average, we're going to be really good.
Yeah, I agree. I think the same thing. All right, Luke, that's all I have. Make sure you tune in. I'll give my show a props real quick. So Grizz 901, we're the best post-game show around.
No doubt.
Listen, we have a lot of fun. We have a lot in store. We already have new graphics, new stuff that's coming up. So if you are a Grizzlies fan, we're going to hit the button right when the buzzer sounds. We're going to hit the go live button. We're going to get a 2-minute timer pretty much leading up to us to let us get our stuff together. We're going to be giving out an MVP of the game on wins. We want to do something else when we lose, but we're afraid. We're afraid. We haven't got that far. Maybe during the season, we'll change that player of the game to a different word, but not yet. We want to see how it goes. We don't want to show disrespect, but we want to have some fun with it. So, but yeah, Grizz 901 post-game show. You can check us out. You can comment live on YouTube if you're watching here. But also it's on Twitter. It's everywhere you can find it. So, Luke, anything you got before you give your full breakdown? I don't know if Mark's on the show tomorrow. I don't know if I will have to fill in or if you're going solo. Who knows?
Who knows?
But either way, we'll find out. But we'll be back. This is the daily grind. It'll be back.
Daily grind.
Daily. It's every day.
Every day.
Even if you're at the beach, you're grinding.
I'm grinding at the beach.
All right, that's all we got. Y'all be good, and we'll see you tomorrow.